The little thing for today is just making sure that you understand how to change fractions to decimals to percents. Okay, they are all very much alike, yet very much different, and you just have to understand the process. It's a real simple sort of thing to change one to another. For example, at the fraction 3 over 100, okay, how do I change that to a decimal? Alex?
You just put 0.3.
No, that's 3/10. Right. You just think about how you say this. 300ths. Well, to write 300ths is that. If you put the 3 there, it's 3/10. 300ths is right there. What about changing it to a percent? Jacob?
Just say 3%.
How do I know it's 3%?
Because it's out of 100.
Okay, this already is out of 100, and it couldn't get any easier because this fraction is already in 100, so that's the easiest of all possible fractions to do. But what about if it is 3/10? How do I change that to a decimal? Alex?
Do you add zeros to both?
Well, not for this one, because this is already in tenths. So to change it to a decimal is not very difficult because it already is 3/10.
Yeah.
How do you write 3/10? Caleb?
0.3.
0.3. But what about changing this to a percent? What is 3/10 as a percent? And there's a couple different ways to think about this. One of them is easier than the other, I would suppose. What, Peter Pavia, is 3/10 as a percent?
30%.
And how do I know that, sir?
Because 10, well, it would be like 10 times 10 is 100, and then 3 is 10.
Okay, let me tell you Peter's thought process there, because it's a good one. He said this, well, this is out of 10. If I want to make it out of 100, I just multiply the 10 by 10, and that gives me 100, so I'd have to multiply the top by 10. And this would be 30 over 100, which is 30%. But there's probably an easier way to do it than that. There's always, if you know the decimal, to change a decimal to a percent, it's phenomenally easy. Fantastically easy. Indescribably easy. Let me shoot down here a bunch of them. Let's say I have 0.6, 0.04, and 0.93. You don't have to even think about fractions to do this. How do I change, and what is 0.6 as a percent? Lutz?
60%.
It is 60%. So what did you do, Alexa Lutz?
You just add the 0.
Not always, because this is not 40%. That fundamental rule there will not work in all cases. In this case it did, but not in all, will it?
No.
Well, what percent is 0.04? You know it's 400, so what percent is it, Michael?
4%.
Michael, what did you do to get 4%?
It's already out of 100.
It already was out of 100. But what's my foolproof rule to change a decimal to a percent? Anybody want to share? How about this? 6. What percent is 6? Ooh. Anybody out there? Peter Pavia?
Well,
here, let me throw this at you. What percent is 1?
100%.
So 6 would be 600%. Now let me help give you a little favor here. I'm going to put my decimal into 6. Look, at that time, Lutz, I had to add 2 zeros and that worked. But that's not what I have to do. Anybody see the pattern? What did I do in every one of these? Maybe it would help if I did this and did this. Maybe you would see it there. I don't know. BJ, you got a suggestion?
Took away a 0.
Nope, nothing to do with adding or take away zeros. Sometimes you do, sometimes you might. Sometimes you don't, sometimes you will. Kels?
You got rid of the decimal.
All right, well, 0.436. Anybody know what percent that is? It's not 436%, I can tell you that. I will tell you it's 43.6%. We're so close, but yet so far. What do I have to do to change a decimal to a percent? Christine,
You move the decimal
how far? In which way?
one space to the left.
Alright, moving my decimal one space to the left means left,
Oh,
I mean
sorry.
0.004%. What?
To the right.
One space to the right? Okay, that would make 9.3%, 4.3%. You're close. Give me the
Oh,
3 spaces
two
to the right. Exactly. To change a decimal to a percent, the only thing you need to do is you need to just move the decimal 2 underline places to the right. And that's it. That will change any decimal you know or could say into a percent. If you have 3.6 as a number, what percent is 3.6? Well, you just say, I know the simple little rule is to move the decimal 2 places. That puts it way over here. What percent is 3.6? Evan?
360%.
160%. Or this, what if I have 0.00003? What percent would that be? By the way, that's a very, 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 very small sort of number there. Jacob?
30%.
No, move the decimal 2 places to the right. It is 0.003%.
Oh.
Follow the rules.
Yeah.
0.08. What percent is 0.08 without thinking? It is, Grace. 8%. Oops. Okay. So maybe we did learn something, a touch of something today. Let me see what other questions they ask you. Now, so for some fractions, though, you're going to have issues. I mean, 7 over 25. What percent is 7/25? Really, your best bet and your best option is to do what? Get 100 on the bottom, which means I have to multiply top and bottom by. Multiply top and bottom by 4. I end up with 28 over 100. So the decimal is, well, the percent is 28%, and the decimal is, and the thing works backwards from percents to decimals. Instead of moving the decimal to the right 2 places, if you just move back 2 places, you change percent to a decimal. So it is, Jacob? Yes, 0.28. Nice call. Is that what you're saying? Just didn't want to come?
Yeah, of course.
Yes, sir.
What if the
Bottom number doesn't go to 100 or 10? I will get to that later. That is, I believe, maybe tomorrow or the next day or something. And I don't want to spoil a good lesson that's coming up here. How about this? Final question of the day. 100 is what percent?
100% of itself.
That was a quick answer. Yeah, 100 is actually 10,000%. I appreciate that.